Yo, what's going on guys, it's your boy Mario here. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to create bamboo crab traps. For those of you guys who would know, this is the traditional way of catching crab within the countryside. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do like, do remember to drop a like and subscribe, and let's get straight into this. Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing now is cutting the bamboo, and as you guys can see, this is how you're going to cut it. Right, you're going to cut it behind the first joint, just maybe like about 2 inches behind the first joint. You know, make sure and cut the front. If there's a joint blocking the front, you make sure and cut off that now. So there needs to be an opening at the front, and at the back it needs to be closed off now. Alright guys, so after you finish cutting the bamboo like this, we're going to make 2 cuts on the bamboo itself, to the top, one to the back and the other to the front. And what this is meant to hold the door in place, the door that connects to the rod, and then the hook stick, as we call it, or the main trigger to the back, right? So you guys will see what I'm talking about. So we're going to make 2 cuts, one to the back and then the other to the front, right? Right.
It's very hard.
So guys, these are the 2 cuts that you need to make, as mentioned, one to the front and the other to the back. Okay, so after you finish making the 2 cuts, you just knock out these pieces here, and be careful not to break the bamboo. So you just knock it out, just like that. So guys, these are the 2 holes that you would want to make on the bamboo. So we'll be proceeding now for you guys to see what we're going to be doing with these 2 holes, and these are really essential in creating the trap now, right? Because as I've said, the first one is the doorway, and the last one to the back is the trigger, for which when the crab touches the bait or whatever you put there to draw them out of the hole, it would initiate the trap to go off now. So yeah. So guys, now using another piece of the bamboo, well obviously not the one that you're going to use for the trap. We're going to create the first part of the trap itself, which is the doorway. So what this part is going to do, it is going to be inserted here. Well, obviously it's going to be trimmed down, but this part is going to be inserted here at an angle, and it would be held by the trigger, right? So you guys will see what I'm talking about. So we're going to be creating a doorway for the trap here now. Yeah? After you finish cutting the doorway for the trap, we're going to cut a thin strip of bamboo from any additional piece of bamboo, obviously not the one that you're using for the trap. And we're going to make a thin insertion to the back of the front hole and slide this strip in that place now. Right? What that is going to do is to help hold the rubber in place, or the rubber band, whatever you're using, whatever elastic material that you're using, to help suspend the door above the upwards now, right? So whenever the trap is triggered, it would it would help send the door faster going down, and the whole procedure, as you guys would see. So yeah, just remember, after you finish cutting the first hole, well, the holes, you're cutting a thin strip of bamboo and making a small incision to the back of the front hole, and you just slide it down there. Right, so this is how it's supposed to look when you finish that part. So the second to last, well, third to last most important part, the rubber and this is what is going to be holding the door suspended at a tension to trigger it off now, right? Whenever the trigger goes off, it would allow the door to snap down really fast to close, to trap the crab inside, right? So I'm using a piece of tire rubber, so you guys can use anything. Once it is very stretchy and elastic like, even rubber bands. The thing that we usually use is actually rubber bands. So today I'm actually using a piece of tire, so yeah.
Tu cosa sufriste, al mundo me trajiste, entre llantos y esperanzas, tenías una corazonada.
Hey guys, so this is the thin strip of rubber. It don't make it any thinner than this, but this is the strip of rubber that we're looking for in order to have the door suspended at a tension, right? So try to get a short enough piece that you could use to, as I said, keep the door at some sort of tension, alright? So we're going to add it onto the trap here now.
Tengo dominicana con española mezclada, para la lucha siempre tengo gana. Abuelos flamencos, me salí fuera del tiesto.
We have the door set in place with the rubber. As mentioned before, this is what the rubber is for, to hold the door suspended at a tension, so after the trap is triggered, it would go down really quickly now. Well, faster than that, hopefully. So after that step is done, we're one step closer to finishing the trap itself. So what we're going to be doing now is cutting another thin strip of bamboo and inserting that to the back of the trap, to the back of where the door initially is, right? So we pulled in the door up at an angle to get the tension, and then we inserting this just a wee bit to the back. We're pulling it up and we're inserting this just to the back at an angle, and it is going to be like this now, right? And then the trigger is going to be hooked onto this. So after the crab takes the bait and shakes the trigger, the trap would go down and the door would close down. So the last part of completing the trap, before we add the bait to the trap, this is what the bait is going to be hooked up on, right? So this is what we're going to be using to make the trigger. This is the carrot. I use the carrot stem from the tree. So we're going to be cutting this into some short pieces and then making a particular angle with it, right? A particular shape with it. So you guys will see what I'm talking about in a minute.
Con buena fe y ganas, mi madre sana y salvo las penas. Ritmo la melón del mino de Dominicana. Con buena fe y ganas, mi madre sana y salva, ritmo en las penas. Con el miedo no me salen ganas. Favor nunca tuve, alma tengo dominicana, con española mezclada, para la lucha siempre tengo gana.
Final piece added to the trap. This is the trigger. I will show a close up so you guys can see what it really is. But where it goes is to the back of the trap, like this. So you put in the bait or whatever food you want to the tip of it, like right at the bottom here, for the crab to smell and come towards the trap. So the crab will smell the bait or whatever you put to the bottom of the trigger, and this is going to be inserted. The bottom piece at this angle is going to be inserted to hook underneath the trap itself here, and the top piece is going to hook on top this piece here, right? So I'd set up everything and then show you all the final product. So this is the final product of what the bamboo crab trap looks like. It is made up of these multiple parts: the bamboo for the body, the door, the, I don't know what we really call this part, and the trigger nut, right? So what happens is the crab is going to walk in from this direction. Well, the trap would be inserted at an angle because most crab holes go down into the earth nut, right? So you'd insert the trap at this angle and the crab would walk up into the trap, and after it gets into the trap, it would walk straight to the back where the trigger is, and to the end of the trigger we'd put, as I said, like the bait now, be it like, you know, fruits or vegetables or even like pieces of meat or whatever, like fish and stuff. And once they interact with this and they touch the bottom of this, it is going to trigger off the top. That sets off the trap now, right? So once they tamper with it, the trap is going to go off, and then the door is going to close, essentially trapping the crab in the body of the trap now. So you guys are going to see this in action really shortly, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to just make out the rest of the traps. I don't want to make too much because I don't really have time to, you know, keep checking and setting out these traps. So these traps could be used multiple times. Usually when we make crab traps for the season, the crab season, we make like 40 to 50 traps, and they usually catch like almost 100 to like 2 to 300 crabs throughout the entire season. So you could use it multiple times once it doesn't get damaged or cracked or anything like that. So yeah, see you guys in a bit, and I'll be showing you guys how we set out these traps and the end results of that. So yeah, cheers. So these are the final traps. So we're about to head to the crab patch there now, or the location where all the crabs is usually be, and set down. We just made for the day, so yeah, we head into there now. Where we call the crab patch, or it is just an area by the riverside where there is usually a lot of crab holes now, right? So what we're going to do now, we're going to set the trap. Well, it is already set, but there isn't any bait in the trap now. So we're going to unmount the trigger and set the bait on the trigger now, right? So when the crab get the scent of the garlic or whatever bait you're using, usually we use this sort of stuff. So you can use anything, I guess. I'm honestly not sure what crabs really are, if they're herbivores or omnivores, because we usually sometimes we set small fishes and stuff and they take the bait now. So yeah. So guys, we're all set here. The trap, there is the bait in the trap. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. And we're all ready to set it to catch the crabs. So we're gonna set the trap in this hole right here. So first thing we're gonna do is just clean around the hole. It seems to be a very nice sized crab, a very big crab that lives in this hole. You usually tell by the size of the feces. That tells the size of the crab now, right? I know it kinda weird, but yeah. So just by looking at the size of the stool, you can tell the crab has a big enough size. So we can just clean around the area first and set the bigger one out of these two traps. So as mentioned, the trap would go at an angle down into the hole. So when we place in the opening of the trap, just to the opening of the hole, so the crab would get the scent of the garlic or whatever you set as bait, and it would come looking for that, right? Alright, so all set. So it's just to set out the rest, and we come back in the morning to make sure we catch